Hello friends, I'm Raja Faisal with Policy Wire, and today we will be interviewing Farida Sayal, who is an Afghan journalist currently based in London. Before that, she was in Prague, and she has been working with Tolo News since a long time, but she left Afghanistan right after Afghan Taliban took over the control of Kabul, and they have been ruling over Kabul. Currently, Farida is a journalist with Radio Free Europe. And today we will be talking to her about right of education for the women of Afghanistan. So Farida, my first question to you is, how do you see women education in Afghanistan right now? What's the current status of women education in Afghanistan?
Right now in Afghanistan, it's more than 4 years that Afghan girls and also women are deprived from education and work. It's a long time, like more than 4 years. They are staying at home. They are not allowed to go to school or attend the work. It's a long time, and if one day the Taliban open the door of the schools, we will not able to return the time to those girls who grown up, to those girls who would deprived from education, and we cannot return those girls to school who got married, or those girls who killed themselves because of the depression, or those girls who are currently suffering from a deep depression, or they are sick. So it's a long time, and the situation is getting worse because there is no sign of negotiation about the opening of the schools, and there is no sign of improvement. At least, like, there is nothing to signify that the Taliban is going to open the school.
Yeah, Farida, when we overall talk about Afghanistan, of course, 2.2 million female students, they are out of secondary school and the colleges. It means that they will not be pursuing their careers in coming future. How do you see the impact on the society when it comes to, of course, medical field? There will be scarcity of female doctors, and when we talk about education sector, of course, the education sector is going to be deprived for the women. In this whole scenario, the impact on the society, how do you see it?
The first impact that we are currently facing and we are watching is the deficit or the lack of doctors in every area of Afghanistan, especially the remote area of Afghanistan. That is the problem which started in the previous government, but now it's getting worse because we don't have the graduated doctors from the colleges or from the institution or from the university. So this is the first problem that we face with the deficit of doctors in every part of Afghanistan. The second is the social impact. Let me give you an example. Like right now, this is so normal for people inside Afghanistan that their daughter, their sister is not going to school. So this is a normal phenomena for them, and it's not a big deal right now because they get habituated to the situation that the girls don't have the right to go to school, and the brother believes like they can go and their sister cannot. So this is getting more and more normalized inside Afghanistan, and people believe that the woman and the girl should stay only at home. This is another impact of the depriving of girls and women from work and education, that the people get normalized to the situation. And I think the third impact that this band had and also have on an Afghan society, that the girls believe they should get married, they should grown up family, and the only option right now they have is to make a family. Even the girls believe these things. So it's really hard nowadays to convince the girls and tell them, wait, wait for the day that the door of the school will be open. They say like, how long I should wait? And they say like, we don't have the time. I'm getting older and older, and the Taliban is not going to open the school, and I am losing the opportunity of having a family. So that's why even they don't believe. They don't believe that one day the Taliban will reopen the school. They will again go to school. They will got education, and they will, and after that they can make a family. But right now, the only option for them is they have to make a family.
Yeah. Farida, overall talking about the society, you yourself are, of course, right now living in Europe. Before this, you were in Prague, and now you are in London. You have, experienced a society out there where there is no gender discrimination. And when we talk about the society overall, the societies where there are equal opportunities for both of the genders, in that kind of society, you have the input, the total 100% input of the whole society. But in a society where women are being deprived of education and work, don't you think that it is going to have a huge bad effect on Afghanistan as a society, because the imposition of this ban on women not getting towards the education means that end of the day is only 51% or 50% of the population that is being part of society, and the rest, they are just out there and nothing is required from them?
What you say is totally true. I saw the situation in Europe, how the women are involved in societies, how they work, how they get education, and how they help their family men and work with them shoulder to shoulder. But back in Afghanistan, like the half of population stay at home and they're doing nothing. And according to the Taliban, they grew up a family. Like they actually doing something. But that's, yes, that is the part of the work of a woman, or that's the job of a woman, to make a family, to grow up the kids, and also have a husband or have a family. But this is a kind of joint job of men and women, not only women. But unfortunately, this job is referred in Afghanistan only to the women. And this is not only have impact on the social life of women, that's also affect the economy of a country. Right now, like half of population staying at home, they are not allowed to work and they are not allowed to get education. So this is have a huge impact on economy, on political, because the ground is open only for the men and there is no competition between men and women. That's why we have one group of people rule the country. And also in growing the family as well, because if the mother is uneducated, how they are going to grow the children? Because
Exactly.
uneducated women don't know about anything. They just
Yeah.
eat and they rest. So how we accept, sorry, how we expect anything better from that kind of woman to make a society? So we are gonna destroy from the root, because the family is the root, and uneducated woman growing up in this family, so we cannot have any expectation from this woman.
And I think you've made an excellent point here, because as we always say that the first institution for any individual is the cradle of the mother, and if that mother is not educated herself, I think she would not be doing or she would not be finding importance of education at all. So she won't be even influencing her kids or teaching her kids about how to educate yourself. Farida, I wanted to come towards a point where, of course, we have to highlight this aspect as well, that when Doha Accord took place between Afghan Taliban and USA in Doha, they pledged that they will be given rights to women and they will be given right to education for women as well. alongside with many other, but this was, of course, the gist of it. They were in compliance with that. At that time, they agreed to do it. But now, what kind of situation you see, and do you see that there will be a change in it in coming years? If not, what role the Western countries and the most powerful countries, including US, they can play in imposing or forcing Taliban to commit to whatever they had agreed?
Raja, give me an example. When the Taliban came to the power on the 15th of August 2021, I was in the office, and we got news from every part of Kabul that this district is collapsed, that district is collapsed. And the Taliban were posting some videos about the women education, about women work, and they clarify and said that we are not going to remove women from the society. They promise people on those videos. And may you saw the video or the first conference of Taliban spokesman Zabiullah Mujahid. He promised in the first conference that Afghan women were allowed to go to school and also to work. But when I came home from the office, my father told me that's the last day you work. That's the last day you were in the office. And he was right. That was really difficult for me after the collapse of Kabul to go to office, and for my sisters who were at school and those who were at university. That was the last days they were at that kind of places. So they make promises. They tell people, we're going to do that, we're going to do this, but they never commit to that promises. Like the same thing they have done in Doha. And even the previous government politicians were believed that the Taliban changed. But when they came, they slowly and gradually changed everything. They returned to the era of 1995. And again, they start what they have doing at that time. So I don't think so. The Taliban will change in the future as well. There is no sign of changing. They are the same people who were in 90s, and they are implementing the same policies against women they were implemented in 90s. So whatever promises they make, they break that promises to the Afghan people, to the Afghan women, and to the Afghan girls. As a woman, we have the right to study, we have the right to work. Even Islam gave us this right. So the Taliban deny all these things and just make promises, and there is no commitment to that promises. And they on the second year of their power, they say like, we are gonna work on it. And nowadays, this is totally silent. There is nothing, there is no sign of change. And if the US or the international community want to impose any kind of pressure or anything else on them, I don't think so. Like in this year, the US President Donald Trump sometimes make comments about the Bagram, um, uh, how we can say,
Bagram Air Base.
yeah, Bagram Air Base. That was a kind of pressure, but I don't think so. And the international community, the only thing they are going to do is release press statements about Afghan women. They have the right to go to school or universities or attend the work. Yeah, we all know all this stuff, but the only thing they are gonna do is that statements, and there is no real pressure. Yes, they
Yeah.
say like we are not recognize the Taliban government. Yeah, we know that's the pressure that nobody recognize the Taliban government, but most of the country right now give them the embassy. They have a relation with them. Yes, that's not in the paper, but most of the country even doing it in the paper. So what kind of recognition you expected from the international community? This is all, I think, the recognition. When you have relation with a country, when you have work with them, it means it's a kind of recognition. So if it's not in the paper, so it's in the working, in the ground. You are working with the Taliban, you are dealing with them. So what kind of recognition that the international community is bringing to the table that convince Afghan women they pressure the Taliban? So I think when they have the conferences and the meetings in Doha with the Taliban, three round of Doha meetings, I think that's the kind of recognition, because they're going to sit with the Taliban on one table, and even they work on the condition of the Taliban. And you may saw that they don't invite Afghan women and also the social society activists to that meeting on the Doha. So they just negotiate with the Taliban. So I think this is a kind of recognition. If the international community convince Afghan women that they pressure the Taliban, I don't think so. It's not the pressure. It's not the pressure. There are lots of ways that they can pressure the Taliban, and even there is uh, some solution for this problem. They have to find out, they have to figure it out, and they have to at least listen to Afghan women, what we are actually facing and what we are actually losing. And we lost lots of years, like a lot of time. So let's the international community understand our feelings, and they have to help us. This is the only way.
I'm glad that you have highlighted the aspect of solution as well here. And there are certain things I am aware of, and them are, of course, there are few villages alongside the border of Pakistan, and I know there are few female students not finding a school, a secondary school, or a college, or a university in their side of the border. They cross the border every day, get into Pakistan side, and go to school or college out there. There is a good number of Afghan female students who actually end up coming to Pakistani schools, crossing the border and coming here. And of course, they are facilitated by Pakistani schools and colleges out there. But this can't be done for whole of Afghanistan. Don't you think, Farida, that we are living in an age in which, especially after COVID has actually given us good lessons how to continue our lives. In this current century, aren't there more avenues that can be exploited in terms that, of course, Afghan women, they can stay at home and through internet or any other means, they can be provided to them and they can educate themselves. And overall, of course, it is understandable that there is a concept of parda, and that concept of parda is being taken, perceived extreme level, at the extreme levels from Taliban, Afghan Taliban, and that's why they are not allowing the females to study. In this whole scenario, are there any organizations, international organizations, especially sitting in the Western countries, that are doing something about it, that at least try to educate women from Afghanistan through some kind of, internet service or something like that?
There are lots of organizations. I don't know about the international, but the women activists who are involved in Afghan issues, Afghan women issues, um, they have a channel which teach the girls TV channel, and also we have radio station. Even in Azadi Radio, we have classroom. Classroom is like from sixth grade to 12th grade. We teach them different subjects in a different time. And also other radio stations, organization inside, outside Afghanistan. And the women activists, they have a kind of school for them. But the lack of internet in Afghanistan make a problem for them. And also most of the girls don't have access to smartphones or computer. Because of the poor economy, they cannot find a smartphone or computer, or they cannot buy it. So this is also a problem. And nowadays, I think they cannot use internet properly. After the 2 day of cutting completely internet inside Afghanistan, nowadays they need VPN for opening any kind of link. So it's also create problem. So internet now, it's not an option. I think it's getting worse, and maybe Taliban understand that most of the girls studying through internet, and they have access to universities or colleges, and outside women, they struggle in this area. They provide lots of facility for those girls, but nowadays it's getting worse. They don't have access to internet, and even if they have, they require to open the links through different sources. So it's difficult. Like nowadays, it's not an option. We have to figure it out inside Afghanistan. We have to find a way. The people should negotiate with the Taliban. They should ask the Taliban to find a way, and also people should not normalize the situation. I know it's really difficult, but as a woman, I understand how it's difficult to deprive from education, how it's difficult not going to school or to university. It's heartbreaking when you tell someone that you are not allowed to go to school. And people who are outside Afghanistan, and who haven't experienced the situation, maybe they take this situation easy. But as an Afghan who study inside and who see all these situations, it's really difficult. Really difficult. You have to like all your life beg for a man, wait for him, and like you're a second option, not the first. If you're not allowed to go to school, all your life will be like you're the second option, not the first. And it's really difficult, really difficult.
And that's, of course, saddening to listen to. And Farida, my heart goes out for women and female students of Afghanistan and the daughters of Afghanistan who should have every right to educate themselves, should have every right to stand shoulder to shoulder with their brothers for a better Afghanistan, for a better future of Afghanistan. And people like yourself, they are an example. You've been to, of course, school, you've been to college, you've been to university, and here we are talking to you. And the only reason behind it is that you educated yourself and your father stood for your education, and that's how you are talking to me. And I believe that if every female student is given an equal chance of studies in Afghanistan, there will be many Farida Sayals to look at and to talk to. But if this continues, of course, after Farida Sayal, we might not be able to see many more Farida Sayals in the field of journalism, speaking for the rights of the people of Afghanistan or women of Afghanistan. And that's the way forward for Afghanistan. Farida Sayal, it was amazing talking to you. Take very good care of yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.